Alright, so it is Sunday today, and I'm going to take you guys through exactly what I do every single Sunday, my routine basically, to make sure that next week or the following week is just set up for success. Everything is in order, we can be completely locked in, no going off course, and yeah, this is what I do every single Sunday. As I mentioned, speaking of today, it was a bit of a tough day for me. Woke up, a lot of pain with the injury. For those of you who don't know, I need to go in for a back op next week, so hopefully going to get all of that stuff sorted. Took these opioid painkillers, absolute nightmare. It's like flipping one of the worst come downs I've ever had. Just felt like absolute shit today. Super depressed, but we snapped out of it and we're back in action. So usually what I do is I've got a whole little list here of what needs to be done. So first of all, we've got a meal prep. Meal prep is going to make sure that I'm going to stay consistent with my meals throughout the week. I'm not going to go off course and order Uber Eats here, Uber Eats there. I do, however, include 2 cheat meals for the week. Sometimes, depending on the situation, I'll have a croissant here and there. I'm normal, okay? It happens. But we're going to try and stay as locked in as possible. The meal preps was going to save me a ton of time. I absolutely hate doing dishes. So it's like once off cook, put this stuff in Tupperware, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like afterwards. Then second thing is I'm going to do peptides. So I'm starting peptide therapy for this injury. I'm going to start it now. Hopefully after the surgery, it's also going to speed up the recovery process. I'll kind of take you guys through exactly what peptides I'm currently using to help with recovery, to help with anti-aging, energy, all of that stuff. I actually haven't tried these specifically, so I'm going to mix it up for you guys as I'll show you what that's all about. And then I need to do a tidy up. Already done the tidy up, so that's under the belt. The meals are also being prepped right now as we speak. The reason why I do a tidy up is because I can't go into the week with everything being scattered. If I wake up and there's a mess, then my week starts off shit. So I need to make sure that everything is sorted. I don't always want to do this on a Sunday. I mean, today specifically, I was like, oh, it's the last thing I absolutely want to do. But now that I've gotten into it, I'm kind of in the groove. I'll maybe put on some tunes, listen, continue to get everything sorted for the week. And then supplements, okay? What I need to do is I need to put all of my supplements in containers for the week. So that straight after breakfast, everything's there, because I've got a shitload of supplements. And I will make a video on exactly what supplements I use, when I use it, and I'll give you just a slight run through now when I actually pack the supplements, so you guys will see what that looks like. If I don't do that, I suck at staying consistent with taking my supplements. I absolutely hate it. There's times where I'm supposed to take it in the morning, and then it will be at night, and I've got to be like, okay, I just got to do it. And by doing this, it just prevents all of that. Sometimes I completely skip it, because the day's either been busy or I'm just lazy. So we got to do everything to make sure that we are staying locked in. Next one is schedule. Make sure that all my schedules are up to date for the week ahead, right? Now with those schedules, it can be things like, okay, when I'm going to create content, what am I going to work on for each day, all of that type of stuff. The next thing, make sure all of my clients are up to date. Make sure that all their programs, all of their eating, they're all happy, so that I can not only just go into a good week and a successful week, but so that they can just go into that week knowing that shit is going to go exactly how we want it to go. And then final one is setting goals for the week. Okay, every single Sunday, I would highly recommend you set goals for the week ahead. Small goals, not huge goals. Those little goals and taking actionable steps to actually achieve them is what's going to get you to that bigger goal. Let's say, for example, your goal is to lose 20 pounds. Okay, what are you going to do? You're going to say every Monday to Sunday, my goal is to hit at least 10,000 steps. Okay, those are little goals that you're going to go, and then at least go to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour. Then you tick those goals off, and all of those goals are just going to take you so much closer to that big vision, that big goal, that desired state that you want to get to. Okay, so that's what we're doing. I'm going to get those peptides ready. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do there. Here we got the peptides. We got the Glow, the NAD 500, and the SS31. I'm currently using Elevate. I don't know, these guys actually reached out to me because of my injury, so I'm definitely going to test it out. I have tried peptides before, you know, it definitely felt better, but these are quite interesting. So I've got everything down here because I don't know this off by heart. I'm not a specialist when it comes to peptides. I'm also not a, you know, physician, so I can't tell you to take these peptides, but based on all of the research I've done, based on everything I've heard, based on my own experience, I think that they are awesome. There are some ones here that I haven't tried, but I've heard are crazy. Now the Glow peptide, which is CU plus BPC157 and TB500. Basically what this does is, you know, it's going to help with skin, it's going to help with recovery, especially after injury of specific tissues, muscle, I think ligaments as well, all of those types of things, acne scars, all of that. And then NAD, this I've heard, this has been crazy. This is like anti-aging type stuff for health and longevity. You know, it increases energy and endurance, and that's something I'm really excited to try for tomorrow, to see if I can, you know, have more energy during the day, you know, cognitive performance too. So if I'm going to be more locked in, that's going to be an absolute game changer. You know, it's also good for the metabolism and fat oxidation. And another thing is anti-aging, which is what I think it's most popular for on social media that I've seen. And then the final one is SS31. Okay. Now this is going to help with organ support. So that's your eyes, your heart, you know, muscle health, all of those types of things, stamina and recovery. What else? We also got anti-aging, but at a deep cellular level. And yeah, so let's see how these are. Super excited to test them. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys how I mix one of these. So we'll do the Glow peptide because this is blue. You know, everyone's raving about how cool the color is. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take a needle, you're going to get a syringe. You can use an insulin syringe. I prefer using these because it's just easier to draw up the back water. So back water is basically disinfectant water that you're supposed to mix with it. I don't think I recommend that if you do get peptides and it's already mixed, I wouldn't trust it. That's just my own opinion. But basically you're going to pull that cap off, right? Then that's kind of what it looks like. It's got a rubber seal. Then you're going to pull the cap off of the back water. Make sure that your hands are clean. I would also recommend using an alcohol swab, but you know, this has just come out of the packaging. Now it says you're supposed to use 2 mils, but I will always only use 1 mil. Reason being that it's less liquid that you're going to be injecting in your fat tissue. So you are going to be injecting it in your fat tissue. It's a super simple, super easy injection. It's not an intramuscular injection. It's literally just take a little bit of fat here, and I'm actually going to be posting more about that on my social media in the mornings and kind of take you guys through the whole process of that. Ooh, juice. Okay. Now, when you do this, be careful because there's suction, so it will pull the water. You want to kind of put it against the glass and let it run in. If I'm not mistaken, it is quite a stable powder, so it's not going to make much of a difference, even if it does shoot in, which it usually does. But check that shit out. So I'm going to start this stuff first thing tomorrow morning. And what you do is you mix it like this. Give it a good swirl. Wow. And I feel like a damn superhuman injecting this in my body and my fat. Check that shit out. That's crazy. It's blue. I don't know if you guys can see it in the light. The lighting is shit. Okay. Sweet. So that's basically what I'm going to do for every single one of these, and then I will do the calculations based on, you know, what the dosages are and all of that. But yeah, so that's the peptides done. Now I'm going to finish off the rest here, and then I'm going to show you guys what the meal prep looks like, if that's complete yet, and kind of take you guys through the rest of my Sunday routine. Let's go. Now I'm going to get all of my supplements ready for the week ahead. So this is going to be the secret weapon to staying consistent. Okay, it's literally as simple as having a pill container. This has got a morning and an afternoon section. There are other supplements that I take throughout the day, like if I'm training before, like glutamine, electrolytes, all of that type of stuff will be, you know, that won't fit into the pill container, and that will be at different parts of the day. Or your protein powder, but again, you can take the next step and take your shakers. If you've got a few, I've got about 6 of them. You can put protein powder in there, stack them up, you know, just little things to make your life a hell of a lot easier. So the first one, I'm just going to give you guys a quick run through on the supplementation that I do put in the pill container. I'm going to do an entire separate video explaining exactly what supplements I take, why I take them, how they help me build lean muscle mass, and, you know, aid in all of these different types of ways to adding that muscle mass. So first of all, we got omega-3s. We got vitamin D3, magnesium, we got liver support, just like full on organ support. It's just good, like milk thistle basically. This is, what is this? This is your multivitamin, so it's like a mix of vitamins and all of that type of stuff in there. And then I have got another one here. These are, that is vitamin K2, which you're supposed to take with vitamin D3. But again, I'll take you guys through all of the specifics of why I take them, how they're going to benefit me, when to take them, and exactly at what dosage to take them at. That's for the separate one. So I'm going to now pop these into the pill containers. I want to make sure that these are going to be done morning and at night and stay consistent. That, by the way, is one of my goals that I put on. That is one of my goals that I put on that goals list, because that is a struggle for me. I've always struggled to stay consistent with supplementation. You know, sometimes at the end of the day, you just get lazy, you just get tired. So having this with me, having this next to the bed, you know, saves me a ton of time. So let me do all of this, and then the meals will be prepped, and I'm going to show you exactly kind of what I'm going through, what I've prepped. I have done an entire separate video on that specifically, of how I meal prep, what foods I eat, which you can find somewhere on my YouTube. So I'll check you guys now. Meal prep is complete. All the meals prepped basically for the next 4 days. Got some extra berries because I was just chucking them in the freezer. But yeah, that is that. Now, that is basically everything that gets done every single Sunday to ensure that we have a successful week ahead. All my clients' check-ins are complete. I've created the list for my goals and everything that needs to be achieved, my priorities for next week, for each certain day, what needs to be done. Okay, meals are prepped, supplements are sorted, got the peptides ready. Time to have a locked-in week. And yeah, listen, if you guys need any help with anything, if there's something that you might be struggling with, comment it down below. Let me see if I can help you. Let me see if I can make a video about it. If your goal is to upgrade your physique, to upgrade your mindset, and to actually get locked in, then go ahead, book a call with me. We'll come up with a game plan strategy to get you there, right? Otherwise, pop me a message via Instagram. I will put the link below, and I'll see if I can help you out. Peace, guys. Hope you enjoy. Give it a like, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Cheers.